Hello everyone, MVL here, and today we are going to be unboxing the Mega Drive Mini 2 live on stream. This will be a live unboxing. We're going to open this up, check out the contents, we're going to compare it to the original hardware as well. We're going to play some games on this thing and also check out everything that this has to offer. This is going to be a lot of fun. Very excited about this. This just came through the door, and as it would happen, I may be one of the first to open up this device live right now. Wishful thinking, there's probably some people that got this early, but without further ado, I'm excited to get into this device and have a look at it. Let's go ahead and open this up right now. Let's do it. Hey there, Henry. How you doing, buddy? Welcome. Okay, so the Mega Drive Mini 2. It is a tiny box, smaller than the original package that came with the Mega Drive Mini 1, and I think that's because we only get one controller in this than two controllers. This came, at least in my instance, from Amazon UK, and that's how it got to me so fast. I believe the Genesis Mini, which will be largely the same except for its overall design, it'll have the same games as opposed to the Mega Drive Mini 2, not to be confused with the Japanese version, which will have different games. Super excited about this 6-button controller, nice to have that. System itself, I can see maybe a tiny cosmetic change here with the on and off button from the original. We will have a look at those compared to the original, but nice packaging, very small packaging as I mentioned, I think because there's only one controller in here. So there's the top of it, if you wanted to get a look at that. Here's the back of the box with the games included. We will be going over the games when it comes to it, when we get into the main screen of the device. But a ton of games on this thing, including Mega CD games, which is what we over here in the PAL region call Sega CD games. And we also have a couple of new games, some of these conversions put onto the Mega Drive for the first time, or enhanced versions, very cool as well. Some text on the side if you want to see the side of the box there, and then on this one there's a notification there as well. But other than that, I think there's not much to talk about with the box really, unless you really wanted to see all of the sides, but I want to see what's inside of this thing. So let's open it up. Hope you're doing well, Henry. I'm excited to open this one up, and we're going to open it up right now. I do like that there's no seal on this actually. I do like that the box is nice and easy to open up and you don't have to risk breaking the outside of the box. And it is rather full. I did say it was a small box, so it is quite full. And what you won't get in this box, actually, I should mention, will probably be a power supply. So I have a power supply, a USB power supply, ready for when we get to boot this up, which we will do on this stream as well. But you probably won't get a power supply. You do get, by the looks of it, a HDMI cable. I have a HDMI cable ready, so I won't be needing to use this, so that's not a big deal. What else do you get here? This is a... oh, that must have been a USB cable. Yes, sorry, I misunderstood. This is a USB cable. I have one of these exact type of USB cable set up already to use, and you get a HDMI. So I was thinking this HDMI cable is rather small. You get a reasonably sized HDMI cable. Most people don't need these. I mean, I think most people would have preferred to have a power supply rather than a HDMI cable, but you know, that is what it is. Most people have HDMI cables. They probably didn't need the extra HDMI cable in there. Alright, so let's open this up and get out, I think this is the controller, because it is the larger piece of the puzzle, and that must be the device, and that's it. That's everything inside of the box. So let's have a look at this controller first and compare it to the original controller. Now I don't have a 6-button controller actually, I only have a 3-button controller, but I imagine it'll be around about the same size. So there is the controller, very nice looking, officially Sega licensed as well, very nice, very nice. I will also say, by the way, that I normally on streams have a audio function designed to disable unwanted noise, but I've turned that off here because I want you guys to be able to hear all the rustling. No, that's not the case. Actually, it's been updated and it's not quite working, and that's something that happens with PCs. And actually, one of those reasons why, you know, PC emulation is actually kind of awkward to do. Sometimes things update and they don't work. This is officially licensed. All of these games should work on this hardware. You know, plug and play right out of the box. It's one of the good things I like about this. But anyway, this is a USB controller. You can probably use this on a PC as well. Probably, I say, because I think I tried to use the previous Mega Drive Mini controller, and I don't think the D-pad worked on a PC, but I don't know if I set it up correctly. But anyway, this is a USB controller, so you can probably use it on a PC. 6 buttons. Now, a lot of people, I think, wanted a 6-button controller on the original Mega Drive Mini, and it is cool, but, not a lot of games used all 6 buttons anyway. Mostly the fighting games used them, so it's not super required. And I will compare this to a real controller, which I have around here somewhere. There we go. So this is a real 6-button controller, and in actual fact, this is a little bit smaller, but then that could be the design of this, because, the 6-button controller from the original Mega Drive Mini, which is what this is a little bigger as well. So this is, probably the right size. I don't have a 6-button controller. Not many games use the 6 buttons at all, really, but, this was the original Mega Drive Mini controller, which is almost identical to the Mega Drive, real controller. So that's pretty cool. And yeah, I mean, size-wise it's about the same, but this is a 6-button controller and this is the 3-button, so there's that. So anyway, yeah, this looks pretty good. I mean, it feels good. I've always liked the feel. Some people, I think the D-pads might be a bit mushy on the D-pads, but I really like that. I think you get good control like this. It's not like it's a Master System D-pad, which is shudder. This feels good. All the buttons feel pretty good. Yeah, can't complain. There's the back of it. Bunch of screws there. Right, we will open this up because I will be using it. We'll see how long this cord is. It looks pretty good. I do prefer corded controllers, I have to say. When you have a cord, you know that you're not going to be worrying about wireless signals dropping out. You're not going to be worrying about anything, disconnecting or batteries, not working or what have you. So that's always good to know that everything's going to be working. I mean, USBs, to be fair, USBs in themselves are kind of awkward. Sometimes they're easy to break, especially the older USBs, but it looks pretty good. This looks like a pretty long cable to me. It's pretty good cable length on the cable on this. And my setup, this isn't going to be a big deal anyway. I'm not going to be that far from the TV, so it looks good to me. Yeah, I can't complain about this controller. It looks pretty good. And the regular 3 buttons are very accessible, so it's not like having the extra buttons is going to be an issue there. And then these will be good on the fighting games. Okay, so that's the controller. Let's have a look at... Oh, and by the way, I will try and test if the original controller does work on this as well. Hey Daniel, how you doing? Welcome, my friend. The 6-button controller is better for you, Daniel, than the original. It's a bit too big for you. That's fair. There is a bit of a difference in size on them. There is a bit of a difference. So here is the Mega Drive Mini 2. And speaking of size, let's grab the original console here. I don't know if it's going to fit in frame, actually, speaking of size, but there's the original console. The original Mega Drive Mini 2, and the original Mega Drive 2, and there's the Mega Drive Mini. It's so much smaller, but then it is a mini console, isn't it? This isn't, it does have a cartridge slot, but it's just for show. It's not an actual cartridge slot. But yes, of course it's a lot smaller. It's a mini, and this is just a pointless size comparison. But anyway, it looks pretty accurate to me. It's got the vents on the top as they would have. The difference here is that it has a HDMI and the USB power input. Then it has 2 USB inputs instead of the joystick ports over here. By the way, the joystick ports were great because you could use real Mega Drive controllers as controllers for things like your Commodore 64 and your Commodore Amiga, which is awesome. Hey, MC Vids, how you doing, buddy? Welcome. Hope you're doing well. Appreciate you dropping by. So yes, a lot smaller. And it looks pretty accurate. I'll show you the bottom of this, even though actually, last I used this, I used it on my Mega CD 2, so it does have the Mega CD 2 plate on it and the expansion port revealed. But yes, I mean, this looks as it should do. Again, I have the plate on here. This all looks as it should do, everything's as it should be. But yes, very cool, very cool. It's so tiny, MC Vids. Yeah, it's very tiny, very tiny. The box is really tiny as well. But yeah, so we'll get a better look at this. I'll put the Mega Drive 2 aside and we'll have a look at the Mini before we plug it in. You have a cartridge slot here. I believe they released some plastic peripherals that were entirely non-functional. They were just for show. So you could get the Mega CD2 and attach it to this if you wanted to, smaller version, and attach the 32X to the top. And then I think there were fake cartridges that you could put in, like a Sonic cartridge, and that was pretty cool as well. So if you wanted that, I believe it was released for the Japanese version. Hey Trevor, how you doing, buddy? Welcome to the stream. I hope you're doing well. So you have the reset button here. I imagine the reset button will take you back to the home. This is my guess. I imagine this will take you back to the home on the menu. And then you have a power button. The power button is a toggle, which is I would say the only difference here. The power button is a press on the original. This is a toggle. That's not accurate. But other than that, it looks entirely accurate. You know, you've got two USBs on the front here instead of two joystick ports. On the bottom here, everything looks pretty correct. You've even got the feet where the metal plate will come in, and the expansion port, which does come off. There's no obviously expansion port in here, but it does come off if you want to attach the fake Mega Drive CD to there, which is pretty cool. So there's that. Yeah, overall, it looks really accurate. Of course, on the back here, you have HDMI out rather than the original. It's not accurate, Vince. Yeah, it's got a toggle. It's useless to me. Throw it away. In the bin it goes. Yeah, so it's got the power. So I guess we should probably put the power in, get ready for some action. We'll get ready to turn this on and plug it in. So I will attach this to the power so we can get ready to roll. I have my USB power already prepared for this, for when we needed to get ready for some action. There's that. Alright, and I just need a HDMI to plug into it now, and we'll be ready to rock. Alright, so I have a HDMI here. I'll plug that in. Okay, good stuff. I guess I'll plug in my controller as well. 6-button controller right here. And get ready to use this thing. We obviously don't need to put a cartridge in. We'll get ready to use this thing for the first time. And we will switch over to some gameplay when this is ready to roll. Okay, so I'm pretty sure we've got the right voltage for this, so this should be good to go. We've got to press the toggle switch, which isn't accurate at all. My goodness, it's junk. This is junk. But anyway, I'm very excited for the game selection on this. There's lots of great games on this. Stuff like your Mega CD games here, you know, Final Fight CD and Sonic CD. Very excited to play these games. These are my original CD versions. And CDs tend to not really last too much longer than 25 years. I mean, obviously there will be a lot of games that do last longer than that, but after that amount of time you start to get degradation on the CDs, so they start to not working, whereas cartridges last a lot longer. That is something I've been wary about, and some of my CDs don't work that well. Hey Andrew, how you doing, buddy? Welcome to stream. Hope you're doing well. Appreciate you dropping by. You're just in time. We're about to get ready for some action. Alright. The tiny Mega Drive now. Tiny Mega Drive. Yeah, we're very excited for this. Let's get ready for this. Turn it on. I hope it's got... You know, I don't know if there's a power LED on this actually, so I'll have to judge it by if my capture device is wanting to pick it up, which I might need to pick up off the ground. I think we're ready to go. Alright, we're good. We're good to go. Alright. Ready for some action. Alright, first setup. I guess I'm going to put the Mega Drive Mini 2, which is here. I guess I'm going to put it down on a stable surface. And we are ready for some action. Yeah, exactly. Speaking of buttons, don't forget to hit the like button, my friends. Indeed, indeed. You love more of our Sonic games, Andrew? Yeah, we've got some cool stuff. So there is different options here. Now you can select Japanese, and you will get the Japanese games, which is very cool. So if you want to play, you know, instead of Final Fight 3, if you want to play Bare Knuckle 3, you can do that by selecting Japanese on the languages screen, as far as I'm aware. And I think they have PAL and NTSC versions of certain games, like Sonic CD, for example. So we'll select the language here and get ready. Alright, so let's take a look at the games we have here. As we hear some of that music playing in the background for the main screen. We have Afterburner 2, we have Alien Soldier, we have Atomic Runner, we have Bonanza Bros, Clay Fighter, it's a fighting game. This new music, MC Vids, I'll be honest, my Elgato capture device is not playing the music through my television at the moment. That sometimes happens, especially when I'm in the open broadcast software that I'm using. This is one of the things I was mentioning about PCs being troublesome. Sometimes PCs do certain weird things, and this is one of those cases where, since I was live streaming before I plugged the device in, I can't hear any sound from the television, so that's a thing. But that might fix when I reset it, and we'll reset it when we go into the options or something in a moment. The capture device, that is. Hey Chris, how you doing, buddy? Welcome, hope you're doing well. But yeah, so that's one of the reasons why, and it's easier for a plug-and-play device like this than it is for, you know, like emulation or something, at least in my instance anyway. We have Desert Strike here, Return to the Gulf. We have Deviant P. I think that might be a new game. Let me actually look at the back of the box and see what the new games were. The new games were Deviant P, a new version of Fantasy Zone, apparently, and there was Splatter and Space Harrier 2, new version of that, I'm guessing, and Star Mobile, Super Locomotive, and Versus Puyo Puyo Sun. I think Versus Puyo Puyo was a versus only. I was just looking at the back of the box right there to see what games were new games. Also has Earthworm Jim 2 and Echo the Dolphin. Also has Echo Ties of Time Mega CD version. I imagine you can probably change that to a Sega CD version, perhaps. This is the PAL, it's like defaulted to the PAL versions, but I imagine you can change that to the American version. Maybe I can change that in the settings. We have Elemental Master here. We also have Fantasy Zone. This is allegedly a new version of Fantasy Zone. Pretty cool to see that. You doing fine, Chris? Good to hear, my friend. Oh, I'm doing very well. I'm very excited for this. Final Fight CD. Great to have a version of that. That is 2-player. You only get one controller with this. I should probably check. I'll check right now because otherwise I'll forget. I'm going to unplug this controller and I'm going to put in the old Mega Drive Mini controller, which is off to the side here, and I'll see if I can use the D-pad, see if it works. Because I imagine that this controller will still work with most games, assuming you can hot swap. Yes, you can. So this does, the old controller does work. So that's pretty good. You've got Gain Ground here. Gain Ground is an excellent game. Excellent game. You excited for Silent Hill 2 Remake for the PlayStation 5, Daniel? For sure, I'm very excited to hear that that's happening. Silent Hill 2 is a great game. So it'll be interesting to see how they do that for the modern version of that. We've got Golden Axe 2 here, fantastic. We had Golden Axe on the original, if I remember correctly. Good to have the sequel in that as well. We've got Grandia. Wow, Grandia, that's cool. Some great games. Hellfire, fantastic game. I don't have that complete in box, I only have a loose cartridge for that one. We've got Herzog's Way here, and we have Midnight Resistance. That's your Contra game on this. Great to have that, great to have that. Can't wait to try that one. Got Night Striker on the Mega CD2. Japanese cover art there. Got Night Trap. Now, a lot of people feel certain ways about Night Trap, but no matter how you feel about it, it is a very influential game for the Mega CD, and certainly it's something that people will expect to have this on it. You love Golden Axe, Chris? Such a great game, such a great game. Love me some Golden Axe. Got Outrun here, fantastic music on that. Got Outrunners. We have Phantasy Star 2, good to have that. Speaking of Phantasy Star 2, I kind of wish we would get a Master System Mini. That would be sweet. Then we could get Phantasy Star on that. That would be great. There's so many Master System games that are fantastic that we could really do with seeing. Got Populous here. That's great to see. Rainbow Islands Extra. Got Ranger X. That's cool. Got Rise Star. We've got Robo Aleste. Very cool. We also have Rolling Thunder 2. Great game. Great game. Got Sewer Shark. Pretend it's a game. Another FMV game that people might feel a certain way about. Now, although the CD games were certainly responsible for, because of the realistic nature of them, responsible for the ratings of games, they're still very popular, I think. There's still a lot of people who really like them. Shadow Dancer, The Secret of Shinobi. Shining Force CD. Yes, yes. So happy about that. This game is very expensive to get. These are essentially like CD quality versions of the Game Gear games, I believe. So they've been upgraded. And this, in the PAL region at least, I don't know about other regions, it's very difficult to get your hands on this. Plus, it's a really great game to have. Shining Force 2, another fantastic game. Time zone differences, Daniel, yeah, for sure. Time zone differences was a problem. I essentially just streamed this as soon as I got this. I was just like, I can't wait. I've got to get into this. We've got Shining in the Darkness. Another cool shining game there. Slip Heed there. We've got Solfi. That's a cool, I think that's an RPG, if I remember correctly. We've got Sonic 3D, Flicker's Island, and Sonic the Hedgehog CD. Fantastic game. Now, I'll be interested to see if we do have the PAL version and the NTSC version. The PAL version has the better music. It has the Japanese music, sort of, but it also plays in 50 Hz, it will play slower. So it'll be interesting to see. We'll have a look at the options in a moment, but we'll see if both versions are on there. We've got Space Harrier 2, great game. Splatter, which I think is one of the new games. Splatterhouse 2, great game, love that. Got Star Mobile, this is a new game I think. You like the music? Andrew, yeah, for sure. The music on the Japanese version, definitely great on Sonic CD for sure. Streets of Rage 3. Clocks go back soon, CM Chris. No! It's so inconvenient. Streets of Rage 3. Now I will say that I saw on social media that Bare Knuckle 3 is missing the beach stage. If you go to the Japanese version of this, the beach stage is missing. So they took that out for whatever reason. So that's one thing I will say that they've done. Super Hang On. Got Super Locomotive. Cool training game. Super Street Fighter 2, the new challengers. That'll be using the 6 buttons here, so you won't have to mess around with 3-button controller. The Ninja Warriors. Really excited about that. Great game as well. Difficult but fun. The Ooze. We also have the Revenge of Shinobi. Fantastic game. Thunder Force 4. Yeah, great game. ToeJam and Earl. Panic in Funkatron. We've got Truxton. Yes, Truxton. Very excited about that. Vector Man 2. We also have Viewpoint and Virtual Racing. We have Versus Puyo Puyo Sun. Now this is only a multiplayer game, unfortunately. So there's no single player mode in that, which is unfortunate, but it's a cool party game. We've got Warsong here. This is a tactical game. And you know, I was gonna pick this up a while ago, but the prices for this game are outrageous. So I'm really glad to see that represented here on this collection of games on the Mega Drive Mini 2. Very cool to get this, and I'm happy that it's on there because it is a pricey game these days. And we've got Yumai Mystery Mansion as well. Alright, so let's go back to the top, get into the options here, see what we can do, what we can order here. Now before we go back into the options, I will reset my capture device. Yeah, okay, we might have lost audio there for a second, but now I can hear audio. That's just my capture device. That's nothing to do with the Mega Drive Mini itself. That's the Elgato capture card. Like I mentioned, it doesn't like when you plug something in while it's on or change resolutions. So that's just a PC thing. Alright, settings. Okay. Please read this before playing. I will. You did say please. Okay. In rare cases, depending... Okay. Right, it's just a health warning. I get it. They need to have that there. That's understandable. And then you can use the QR code there to get the manuals. I would have liked to have seen the manuals actually on this. I think they did the same thing with the NES Mini, but actually, no, I feel like those might have been on it. I can't remember. They might have done the same thing. They might not have done. It's a very popular thing to do these days. I think I would have preferred if they just had the manuals on here. Like, I get it, you know, it would be helpful to have the manual on your phone so you can look at the manual whilst you're playing the game, but it would have been nice to have the manuals on there as well. The language option, of course, we've already selected that, but you could change language on this and then see different game options. So if we select to this, for example, we will see different games and a different screen on here as well. See the games, well, funnily enough, some of them now have the Genesis artwork. But as you can see, the game list has changed, and the games themselves are presented in the Japanese versions, which is very cool. And you can play these Japanese versions. There will be differences. I love the artwork on some of these as well. It's nice to just look at the different artwork as well. It's really cool to see that. The different cover art for these games in the Japanese region. I thought I'd show this as well. Very cool to see that. And of course, there are a couple of differences on these games as well. But it's very interesting to see that we have different artwork from different regions. Some of these are still using the Genesis cover art as well. It's very cool. Silent Hill 2 was different in other countries, Daniel? Well, I had the PAL version of whatever game it would have been for my region. The cover art would have been different for sure. Alright, let's go back in the options and change that language back to English. But it is cool to have a look at this. There we go. Alright, game settings. What can we do with the game settings? Let's get this out of the way before we begin. Screen settings. So you can go like 4x3 or widescreen. You have the option to go widescreen. I know some people like seeing it widescreen. I'm going to say 4x3. Play games how you want to play them. You have the option if you want to. And I will say actually the widescreen option is handy if you're using a scaler or something that forces everything to go wide. Before an update, speaking of updates in PCs, my capture card used to stretch everything. So even if something was on 4x3 aspect ratio, it would stretch it. And in actual fact, I think this is not proper 4x3 aspect ratio. I think it's having black borders on either side, if you know what I mean. But it's useful to have this option anyway, even if you're not going to use it. Wallpaper settings. So we can have different wallpapers on the side of the games if you want. You have lots of different ones here. They kind of look pretty cool. I think if there's an option for no borders, I'm going to choose no borders. That's what I'm going to do. Yes, there is. Okay, cool. But you've got lots of different options here. Oh, you know what? This TV. I like that. I like that TV. That one's pretty cool. I like the look of those. That's very tempting, but I'm going to go for no borders. Sound settings. Oh, you can change it so it has the sound of the Mega Drive Model 1. So the Mega Drive Model 1 was a mono system. Mega Drive Model 2 was stereo. Also, due to the components in them, there will be different sounds produced by the system. So it's cool, you get the option if you want to. Mode button settings, okay. Interesting, we can change the button settings as well. Alright, we'll go back from this. There's credits here and legal notices, we don't need to see those. So we can change the game list. I will say there's a little bit of a delay when you go from the games to that. So I can change them to recently played or CD titles first. You've got to play those CD games, they're up there first. Nice touch with the audio settings, yeah, for sure, MC Vids. That, actually, I will say, that's something they didn't need to do. I don't think many people will be expecting that. But some people might be like, man, I just gotta have that CD from the Mega Drive 1. That CD music, rather, or the sound, I should say. Number of players. Okay, that's interesting. You can have the multiplayer games, or the single player games that will be up front. Genre defined, good to see. You can have A to Z. Is that Z to A? I like to have them A to Z. I might be crazy like that, but I like to have my my games in A to Z order. And yes, thank you. I was about to say we're in Z to A for a second there. That was a bit weird. But I like to have my games in A to Z order. That's how I like to do it. So I think that's going to be all the settings. Let's jump into something I am familiar with, like Sonic CD, and see how we can change the settings of that game, if we can change the settings of that game, I should say. So Sonic the Hedgehog CD. So we can total display with... Oh, okay. We can see the spines of the games as well if we want to. If you want to quickly flick through the games, nice and quickly, you can see them like that. That's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. I like that. So I'll press confirm here and see if we get any options prior to loading up. Sonic the Hedgehog CD. Right. Space Harrier 2. Oh, okay, I see. I can still select from here. That's interesting. Can I... Oh, right, this is where I do it. I select the EU or the US version. Alright, okay, cool. So let's play the US version for at least the initial outset, and then I'll show you what the EU version looks. There will be subtle differences. Jump into standard definition on my capture device as well for this. On my screen settings, I should say. The scenes I've set up, so the game fills up more of the screen. Sweet, Chris. Excited about this. Alright, let's see it in action. The one thing that will be here is this will be a 60Hz version. I have only ever played Sonic, aside from, you know, on compilations, I should say. But I've only ever played Sonic myself in 50Hz on the original hardware. Until I got the modded system from Scottica Retro, which allowed me to have a region mod. Because the games on the PAL region were actually out, at least for Sonic 1, was a 60Hz game. It was just slowed down by the hardware to be slower. So you're seeing it as it would have been intended. I jumped right back onto that. No, stop! Stop moving me onto it. No! Alright, so what happens if we... How do we get the menu up here? Is it the reset button? Reset button takes me to the system menu. And then we have save load, save slots, game reset, and return to the main menu. Okay, cool. Alright, let's go to the menu. And we'll go ahead and select the... well, actually, I'll reset the game. So see if we can see that opening sequence. And the music in that. So this will have the American music in this. And I think if you stay on the main screen, the cinematic comes up. That's how it is with a lot of games. But for sure, very cool. Sonic Hedgehog CD is on here. Very excited about that. Yeah, it's definitely really awesome that you can have both versions of the game on here. Like, so we're hearing the music here, and that is the music for this version. The music will actually be different on the PAL version. Yeah, I thought there was a cinematic here. Look at that cropping for the Mega CD, or in this case the Sega CD. Now this is the American music. And I'll say that if memory serves me correctly, PAL version had more accurate music to the Japanese version. Still very cool to see this, man. I'm excited for these games being on here, definitely. Look at that, full motion video, animation, cinematic sequence, the power of Sega CD there. Can't do this on Nintendo, can you? Genesis does what Nintendo don't. Still a very catchy tune. Man, it's just so cool to see this. Like I mentioned, my CD versions, they have issues with the age of the CDs causing degradation to the discs. So great to have these versions that work perfectly well. Alright, let's press the reset button and get over to the main menu again. I'll change to widescreen for this. Turn to the main menu. And we'll select the PAL version. Check out the differences. Then we'll get into playing some stuff proper. So we'll select this game. Had our cartoons back in the day. Yeah, everything had its cartoons back in the day. You know, Mario, Sonic. It's a pretty cool, good time. So we'll play the EU version this time. Try that one out. I'll switch the screen size again. You should notice some differences with the music, the speed of the music for sure, and the speed of the gameplay when we get into that. But the main thing is that everything's going to be around about 17% slower. It's that difference between the 50Hz and 60Hz without the necessary conversion. You can already tell the difference, Chris? Yeah, it will. Like, and you're noticing different music here as well. Man, it is really cool just to see this as well. I know we just watched this sequence, but man, it's still so cool to see it. Like, just, man, the Mega CD blew my mind. Just blew my mind when it came out. Yeah, obviously different songs, one of the main things that I remember. The music in the game itself is more akin to the Japanese version. And yeah, I remember like being able to put your CDs and listen to CD music in your Mega CD. That was cool. It's actually a good way to check if the laser's working. Put a CD in your Mega CD and check you can play all the tracks. Great way to check. Music's very different, Daniel, yeah, for sure. Now the gameplay, I believe we'll see the gameplay be a little bit slower. Like, it will be more noticeable to some people than to others, for sure. Yeah, so you will notice, like, look at the speed that Sonic jumps in the air. It's like, it's not quite sluggish, but I remember, I mean, unless I'm misinterpreting, I remember this was particularly the case with the first Sonic game, because that was, the first Sonic game was directly a 60Hz game played on a PAL system. And you know what? I appreciate that they've emulated the accuracies of the versions being slower. Because that's, you know, for a lot of us, that was the experience. That's how we experienced the game. So it's nice to be able to see it as it was initially and how you remember it. That's cool. And you know what? Whilst we're at it, I'm not seeing any difference in, as you know, we're getting the sharpest picture here we would. You know, if you're using the original console, you might be using composite video. You might be experiencing some interference on the screen, sometimes lines. Things like that you see from the original hardware. A lot of that we're not getting here. We're getting like pretty pixel perfect. And I'm not seeing any discrepancies, like any movement issues that sometimes you get on emulated versions. Sometimes you get some weird like screen movement issues. Not seeing any of that. All looks pretty good to me. Yeah, great to play this. Right, anyway, I could play this all day. Let's check out some other stuff on the system as well. What just happened, Chris? We changed time zone! We changed Sonic CD. You go through time. It's a great game. Absolutely great game. Anyone that hasn't checked it out, thoroughly recommend checking it out. Fantastic. I've gotta play some Final Fight CD. I've just gotta. Like, you can't hold me back from that. We're gonna play some Final Fight CD. And then we'll try something else. We've gotta, I press return to game. Alright, let me do that properly. And go return to the main menu. We're gonna play some Final Fight CD. Man, I love me some beat 'em up games. Absolutely love them. Do it now! So, as I mentioned, just to reiterate, we have, you know, you got your Sonic CD here. I have the original games, and you've got your, you know, Final Fight CD. These CDs, because of the age that they're at, you know, a CD after around about 25 years, they start to get that, you know, disc rot, and it starts to become more prevalent, depending on your region and how well you take care of the disc. But it's not something you can ever avoid. It's going to happen to the plastic. So it's good to have versions that you can, you know, just play whatever. So that, I'm really excited about this. You know, these versions are going to work, what have you. So very cool about that. Play some Final Fight CD. Man, I'm so excited to play this. Such a good game. This one as well, the music in this version, so good. It's got remix music that is only on this version. Some other versions had some different remix music, but the music for this version is unique to this version. I love the music on this one, so it's great. I mean, so far we've done a lot listening to music, but I tell you, the music on this version is so good. Right, let's get ready for it. Now, of course, you could play different regions of this if you selected the Japanese region, for example. But we're just going here, I imagine, the 60Hz version. So they put the option up for the PAL or the NTSC American if there was a significant difference, like there was with Sonic CD.
Metro City. a well-known crime capital.
Indeed, Daniel. Yeah, discs do degrade. It's just something that happens, unfortunately. Cartridges will last a lot longer.
A fact which the newly elected mayor and former Street Fighter
Man, that CD quality audio, so good.
At the center of the problem is the huge
Great selection of games on this. Not just your additional CD games on here that the original didn't have, but you also got some of those fantastic cartridge games that are so sought after. So another thing that's really good about this, as well as, you know, the option to have like save states if you want to, if that's going to help you out playing out. But another thing that's so good about this is just the fact that, you know, all of it's in one package. It's all plug and play. You don't have to go through like an emulator to get this to work in, and it's pretty accurate to the original, and it plays on a flat screen, you know, streams pretty easily. It's just a great package to have. Now, unfortunately, I will say that it's been rather limited, the Mega CD Model 2 that is. It's, at least in America and I think the UK, it's mostly sold out. They saved most of the allocation of this for Japan. Now, we'll have to see whether there ends up being a lot of these out there or not, but it seems like there's going to be less of these than there were on the original Mega Drive Mini, which is a shame. Now, this version of the game features extra music and extra characters from the other versions, so it's very cool that we'll get to try this one. Capcom Classic right here.
Guy, Jessica was kidnapped.
Jessica?
My sweetheart since childhood.
The Mad Gear must pay. She's my
Also, I
friend,
should
too.
say,
Count me in.
speaking of good things about this, if you want to grab these games on the second-hand market from places like eBay, you're looking at a heck of a lot of money to get these games versus getting this one package. And they are legitimate, fully licensed versions. What can we do on the options here? Okay. I'll change it to easy, and I'll give myself some more lives. Let's do that. And start the game. Now, this isn't a 6-button. Maybe I should do the Street Fighter to use all of the buttons. So yes, we have Guy from Final Fight Guy. Of course, the arcade version, of course, but was originally reintroduced in Final Fight Guy. And you get Hager as well. Let's play as the big guy. Alright. Rawr. Man, I'm just a big fan of beat 'em up games. It's one of the genres, like shoot 'em ups. There's some great shmups on this collection as well, but it's one of those genres that, oh my goodness, look at that suplex. One of those genres that's just really great to like drop into, and then, you know, you can get a quick fix of gameplay, and you don't have to sit through like a 20-minute, you know, cutscene telling you how to use the controls for a controller that has, you know, your modern controllers have like 1,000 buttons on them. Their thumbsticks are buttons as well. I like, you know, just having a couple of buttons in front of me. Duplex that guy. Oh my goodness. I'll also say this looks really good on here. I remember at least on my PAL version of this, the lights go crazy in here on like my CRT. It looks pretty good here. It's a bit of flashing. Hey Seacrest, how you doing, buddy? Welcome. It's not Ghosts and Goblins. The knife isn't an end all here. Get the knife. Oh. Suplex that guy. Final Fight. That's right, Seacrest. Final Fight CD on the Mega Drive Mini 2. Such a great game. It's playing here flawlessly as well. Plays better than my original version, because my original version was, you know, the PAL version. Like I said, the visuals there looked a bit better than it might have done on my original version. Plus, you got the as I was mentioning, the things that are good about this, the way the video is scaled. It looks flawless. No noticeable lag. MC events. Now that's something that will be there to be fair, this is emulation, so there will be lag. I will say, and I covered this when I reviewed the Retro Freak, it depends on the player, I think, because personally, I have a hard time noticing lag, and I know it's very subjective, like it's very subjective between the person, because some people will notice lag a lot more than others. I'm not noticing any lag, like the buttons, like as I press the buttons, like if I get hit, it's my own fault, if you know what I mean? But I don't notice any. It seems to play pretty well, and I have to imagine, for an officially licensed Sega product, they would check this out pretty vigorously to make sure that they're releasing a product that's gonna be worthy of putting the name on it. But yeah, I'm not noticing it. You know, if I push the buttons, it seems pretty accurate to where I'm pushing them. Oh, I got punched in the back of the head. Looks sharp. Yeah, the video quality is excellent. Seacrest, to your point. I have noticed different Mega Drives as well will give you different video quality. Like my Mega Drive Model 1 and 2 that I have, for example, vastly different, like picture, like color, like than each one of them. And I guess it depends on when the Mega Drive was made, but it looks pretty good, and I don't feel any lag myself. But I have mentioned before that I have a hard time telling the difference myself, that is, between like, you know, 30 frames a second and 60 frames a second, or like 4K and 1080p resolution. So I'm not the best judge of lag. I'll say that. I'll say that from the outset. Drop kick those guys. But yeah, it looks like it's running pretty faithfully from the original. It's pretty nice. Very happy I got this, actually, for sure. Be a great plug and play device for some good, like, quick beat 'em up or shoot 'em up action, for some multiplayer fun or what have you. I did check that the original controllers do work on this, so even though this only came with one controller, I have two controllers of the free button. So unless you're playing something like, oh my god, I'm getting wrecked here. Unless you're playing something like the fighting games that need more controllers. Hey Raccoon Evil, how you doing, buddy? Welcome. Hope you're doing well. Oh my goodness, that guy got me with a sliding kick, but I'm going to get him back with a suplex. And another suplex at Suplex City on the subway. Subway Suplex City. Do that, Andre. But not the giant in this instance. Oh, I got me with a butt bump. I'll get him with a drop kick. Oh no, I moved off his body. But anyway, fortuitously, we'll just go to we get our first game over here, because we want to check out some more games, because this is essentially a showcase of what's on here, rather than me getting my butt kicked on Final Fight for the entirety. But I want to show some different stuff, so I should probably show a fighting game for use of the 6 buttons. Now, I'm not a master at memorizing combos, I will say, which is why I like beat 'em up games for the most part. It's because you can just hammer buttons. So we'll see that. Oh boy, got me with the butt bump again. I got the knife. It's not Ghosts and Goblins, but I got the knife. This game's worth it alone for sure. Yeah, I think I tweeted on social media when they were announcing the games, but they have to have this on it. They have to have. If you have a CD games on, you've got to have Final Fight CD. You just got it. So good. The music. Guys, are you noticing the CD quality music on this? So good. Now, I'll say that, like, my original copy of Final Fight CD, I went through 2 copies. My original copy, the first thing to go on it was the music, and the music starts stuttering. And I got another copy to replace that. And it's so good. The CD music on this, so good. Duplex everybody. Oh. Man, I gotta stop using that special move, it's gonna drain my own health. That spinning attack. Doing very well, Raccoon. Good to hear, my friend. Glad you're doing well. Man, I gotta say, this is such a lot of fun to be playing some Final Fight again, have it fully working as well. And pretty good value for sure. Like, as I mentioned, the price of these games on the second-hand market I mean, granted, you will be paying on the second-hand market inflated prices for sure, but the price of these games on the second-hand market is insane in some instances. And I will say, there's some great games on this. Crusader of Centy, I think, is on this, an RPG Zelda-like, and just having that on there is you know, that game itself. I mean, I mentioned Warsong is like a very expensive game, but that's another game very good to have as well. Appreciate you guys checking out the stream as well. We're going to check out something else after this. Probably a fighting game, so I can show the 6-button controller in its use. After I get mashed by these guys. Oh, I got stunned there. It has Shining Force 2, Seacrest. I think Shining Force 1 was on the Mega Drive Mini 1. So I think this one is just Shining Force 2, but it also has Shining Force CD and Shining in the Darkness as well. So that was another cool thing to have in this. Anyway, let's press the reset button. Get onto the menu once again. I think we'll try a fighting game. I'll remember this time to return to the menu. Hey Limu! How you doing, buddy? Welcome. Appreciate you dropping by, Stretch Limo. Hope you're doing well. Let's play some fighting game action. So they have Street Fighter on this. I know that uses all the buttons. We'll try and do that. So there's the Shining Force games as well as it was being acquired. Man, Streets of Rage 3. Man, I want to play that as well, but you know, I want to show some variety here. I don't want to just play beat 'em up games, but man, Streets of Rage 3. So happy to have that. Oh, you know what this could have done with? It could have done with Golden Axe Revenge of Death Adder conversion. If they're putting some, like, you know, arcade conversions on this, then that would have been nice to have that on here. But yeah, Streets of Rage 3, super happy about that. But Revenge of Death Adder, you know, I know it wasn't released on the Mega Drive, but if they're doing those arcade conversions, that would have been nice, you know, if it would have worked on this. But they did put that on the Astro City Mini, to be fair, I think. Alright, so let's go into Street Fighter 2, the new challenges. New challenges! Alright. Let's get ready for some fighting game action. Love Streets of Rage 3, Seacrest. Yeah, it's such a good game. They have the Japanese version on this as well, but I believe they took out the beach stage on the Japanese version. Look at that sprite as well, it's so big. Streets of Rage 3 is interesting compared to 1 and 2, Chris. Yeah, they definitely went there with it for sure. Alright, let's play some new challenges. Alright, okay, so Super, I guess. Streets of Rage 2 is the best. I for sure like that one a lot, Stretched as well. Should we play as the master of the kicks, Chun-Li? Versus DJ. Alright. All of the kicks. Now all of the buttons are doing stuff here. I'm using all 6 buttons. I've got to be honest, I'm just mashing buttons though. Oh, is that a double KO? Yes, it was. Streets of Rage 1 is your favourite, Chris? Oh. This guy backing in the corner. Look at him blocking. Oh boy. I should be doing some blocking, really. Oh. Nice. Threw him around the place. Oh. Oh, nice. Nice. Mid-air collision. Plays well. I'm using all 6 buttons here. very good for this type of game. Good they included this 6-button pad. Oh man, we stunned him. Oh. Oh boy. Man, I did perfectly well to throw away that lead I just had. Oh boy. Nice. Although we pulled it back with that low kick. Yeah! Alright, there you go. Plays perfectly well. I'm just pressing buttons, guys. I don't remember all the combos. But anyway, great game. Great game, for sure. Right, let's go back to the menu. GG. I'm happy with that. I thought for sure I was going to get embarrassed on camera then. For sure. Alright. Let's go back to the menu. Alright, I want to try out that CD quality visuals. So we drop into a bit of... not Sewer Shark, pretend it's a game. Another game I enjoy for how, you know, silly it is. But we'll drop into this a bit, see how it looks. I know the PAL version of this was a mess visually. It was even more compressed than the original. Now, of course, you can get a PlayStation number 4 version of this and it looks great, so for sure. Lots of games I would love to try here, actually, for sure. Streets of Rage 3 is definitely one of them. Sewer Shark as well, but we'll try and keep a variety in this live stream. Let's give this a go, see what it looks like. Sega CD version. Some of the CD games had CD and 32X versions, so there were some certain enhancement versions of this. Now this will look better than the PAL version that I actually have on Mega CD as well. So this will look a little bit better, but the screen size will still be quite small being processed on this system through the CD attachment. Now the opening is actually a bit of a trap. The opening in this version is different actually because you'll see a different instruction section than you would on like the director's cut version that you would on, let's say, the PlayStation 4. And most notable is when you get like a game over and they show a controller, they will show, I think it's the 3-button controller, but they'll show a controller. Now if you watch this opening, you will lose opportunity to capture bad guys, because that's all happening during this opening. So you should really skip this opening section of the game. It's a bit of a trick. You can skip this and you can get ahead.
We have a picture.
I'm Commander Sims of the Sega Control Attack Team.
So this is the original opening. The other opening shows them in essentially a bunker room, analyzing this differently, and then it's more involved. I don't think in the PlayStation 4 version you get a choice. I think you just see the new one instead of this one, which was, you know, for the Mega Drive version. Sure. So I am going to skip that, because if you don't skip that, you'll be in trouble. So you see a possible 7 already, possible 8 already since we watched that cinematic. Got to be wary of that. Got the Switch version of this MC Events? Yeah, it seems like a good game for the Switch for sure. Now this is all about, yeah, it's a very small screen size MC Events. I'll tell you what though, this looks better than the PAL version did. PAL version had even more messed up visuals. Possible 10. Showing you how not to do this game.
Oh, che cretini. Well, we have to bottle the 2 downstairs, and Sarah's coming in with...
Gotta be wary of those guys.
Yeah.
Oh, I just missed him. Yep, some secret stuff going on in that room. So this is all about memorization. You've got to pretty much write down the times write down everything that goes by, know when to change the color of your code. Right now it's at blue, but if it's not at blue, could be wrong, and then you won't capture anything. It's a very unique game. Yeah, Seacrest, it was definitely very unique for sure.
With me control, we're going in.
Hi.
Creepy.
I was so afraid you decided not to come.
Oh, no way. I've been looking forward to this all week.
Sarah, this is beautiful by the lake. Really? It looks like a swamp. Hi, Megan. Oh, come on, everyone. I want you to meet my parents. Hi.
So these are your lovely new friends from the shopping mall.
Welcome to our little getaway.
Father, I want you to meet Cindy.
Hi.
Ashley.
Hi.
Megan. Hey. Lisa.
Hi.
Her little brother, Danny. What's up? And
Oh, and Kelly. Nice to meet you, Mr. Martin.
Please, call me Victor.
Alright there, okay. 13 guys went through 13 evil vampires whilst we were watching those cinematics. Great game though. Played it a lot on the newer version on the PlayStation 4 that I picked up. I like to get the Switch version as well, actually. Let's turn to the main menu. Although I think it would probably play better on the PC with a mouse maybe, then you could switch between the rooms a bit easier. But who's to say? Let's turn to the main menu. Just wanted to see visually what that would look like on that version. I knew it would be, you know, a kind of a pixelated mess, but it was designed for a smaller resolution. Yeah, and we now know there's not any audio lag MC vid. Yeah, very, very well playing version of that. So let's have a look at something that's new on this. Let's have a look at the Space Harrier conversion. Space Harrier 2. I think we had a new version of this on this. Hey Michael Evans, welcome. Hope you're doing well. I think we had a new version of this with the scaling change, the sprite scaling. We'll have a look at this. Oh, we can play the original Space Harrier. Oh, that's cool. This is an arcade conversion? We'll try a little bit of that. And this will be cool to see. Arcade action here. What options can we do here? We can change it easy, give ourselves some more players. Very unique game. The Mega Drive, of course, didn't have access to like Mode 7, but they still handled sprite scaling really good on this, really well on this rather, even though it wasn't a Super Nintendo. Oh no, this is a game where the controls aren't set to inverted, but as it's kind of got that like flight control mentality, I would like to set inversion to this. Can I set inversion? I will check that in the options, maybe. Oh, you can hold the attack button as well, you don't have to keep pressing it. Cool. Oh, dodge that. This plays really well. I mean, I play badly, but this plays really well. I mean, look at how this handles. I keep pressing up when I mean to press down, though. Man, look at that. Look at that scaling, though. Like how the trees move from the background to the foreground. That's really good. This looks fantastic. Imagine this on, like, actual Mega Drive hardware. That's insane. Okay, I'm getting used to the up, down, not being inverted. Try and beat the dragon. Whoa, look at that flicker though. Look at that sprite flicker. There's too much going on screen at that point, obviously. Okay, I see. So they've handled the scaling better at the expense of some sprite flicker. It's a fair compromise, I would say. It makes it, I think it makes it easier to play. You know, it's less choppy. And it may have been. Like, I can see the projectiles coming a little easier. Very cool though. We'll have a little try of Space Harrier 2. See what that looks like. Great to get these compilations. I remember playing Space Harrier or Space Harrier 2 a lot on the Sega game Shenmue on the Dreamcast, on the arcade in there. And then you did certain things in the game unlock the Sega Saturn version. But this looks great on a Mega Drive, never mind the Saturn. Very impressive. Oh man, I knew I was running into that. We'll keep going till we run out of... oh boy. We'll keep going till we run out of lives. I was casting my eyes to the corner of the screen there to try and see how many lives I had left. In that moment I got hit. But, you know, that's the smooth action of that blast processing. Don't get that on Nintendo. Very cool though. These minis have been really, really awesome ways of experiencing, especially for, you know, fully licensed game versions at a reasonable price. The Nintendo minis were great. The Sega minis have been pretty good as well. Oh, another dragon. 2 dragons. There goes one. Oh. Well then fireballs. Nice try, dragon. Trying to make this drag on. Whoa! Man, this looks so impressive. For a system like the Mega Drive, this looks amazing. This looks like dice, like polyhedral dice. You might use for Dungeons and Dragons. But I'm gonna run into something on the screen here. Okay, we're good. Open up a bit. Oh! It's like we got hit by something from Minesweeper. Alright, we'll have a look at the options, see if there's a look-in version actually. I just want to see if there's a look-in version. That would be pretty cool if there was, if you could invert the up and down. You probably can. Oh, actually, I could just reset the game, couldn't I? That would have been an easy thing to do. Game reset. A great version. On the options here. Oh, we can change that. That's really cool. That's awesome. You can invert the up and down. Would have made it a bit easier for me. I like to have that like flight control type of thing where up is down and down is up. I'm used to that from, you know, flight games on old computers or old first-person shooters. Anyway, with that said, let's go ahead and try Space Harrier 2 out a little bit. I think I will leave that at the starting number of lives as well, for Space Harrier 2. These both may have been modified. Go on the options, see what we can do with it. Okay, it might take me a moment to get used to this now. I'm going to leave these lives at default, I think, maybe. Hey, Seacrest using the MVL emoticons. Alright. Picture looks absolutely great.
Welcome to the fantasy zone. Get ready.
It's definitely faster if you tap the button. Oh, I think it had the option to rapid fire though. I think it did. Definitely a fantastic game selection for sure, Seacrest. Some sweet games on this. Yeah, I just wanted to see what this one looked like, essentially. How this compared. Again, very smooth scaling. Looks better than I remember it, having played it. Like, near arcade perfect. From my memory, that is, anyway. Oh, I ran into the
Get ready.
mints. Like mint polos. Circular mints. How much was this, Seacrest? I want to say it was about 100. Which I think was more than the previous Mega Drive Mini. But as I understood, the availability was going to be... It was going to be harder to get your hands on. At least that's how it was presented. I think that there maybe was a little bit of that fear of missing out, perhaps. But I definitely wanted to grab this. There were, at least for me, there was a a number of games in this that I really wanted to play, and that would be the price of the system in of itself. So like, Shining Force CD is a game I've always wanted to, get my hands on for a reasonable price. Yeah, considering all the games in it, yeah, definitely. And it is possible on the secondary market this might go up as well, Seacrest, to your point. Alright, so with that, let's try something else. I've just gotta try some shooters. Just gotta. We have a number of good ones on here as well. Let's go and dive into some. Man, Splatterhouse is on here as well. It's very cool. So I want to try some variety as well. So we've seen some of the new versions. I know these are puzzle games. Play Streets of Rage 3, Seacrest. Okay, let's go ahead and play Streets of Rage 3 then. I'll try it for a little bit. Try it for a little bit because I want to show some variety. I do personally love this game, but I want to show different games on here for sure. I mean, my fear is that if I play this, I will play it for too long. But yeah, for sure. Seems like people want to see it, so we'll drop into it for sure. Alright, Streets of Rage 3. Always thought that boss looked scary, JS. It's a really weird boss actually, for sure. Wasn't a Ninja Turtle though, so we were safe. Alright, let's go on the options. So a 2-player will probably be enabled if we had both controllers in. I'm just going to bump up my lives. I think that's all I'll do. Play it on easy. Alright, I almost always play as Blaze, because Blaze is the faster character. Or is Skate faster on this one? Oh, they're faster on this one. Okay, so Blaze is normally the faster character, but I guess now they're their technique character, because Skate is on roller skates. I guess that's why he's faster. Makes sense. Regardless, I'm going to play as Blaze. Now, the color of the costumes was changed in this version. So, you'll see the outfits, if you play a bare knuckle free, they will be, Blaze will be wearing red, I think. But then, like I mentioned, that stage, the beach stage, has been removed. Is the audio messed up for you guys? I'm looking at the video capture device, and the audio is, like, not moving from my, yeah, it could be. Could be that the audio just went. I'm going to refresh the capture device real quick. Pause it. It might not have been. It might not have been. But, you know, it's the type of thing that happens on my capture card. Okay, yeah, I just didn't see any movement on the audio levels from my video capture device. I thought there might be an issue with the audio for a second. It's playing great. Duplexes away. Always enemies hiding off screen. Evil enemies. Nice to play a version in 60 Hz as well, it's nice and fast. I'm used to playing Streets of Rage 1 and 2 in 50 Hz. So I'm used to them being at a slightly different pace. It feels really responsive like this. These guys try to dive down on me. Oh. He's got the knife. This isn't Ghosts and Goblins. I think the knife is there. Yeah, it is. I've got the knife. Suplex. I thought he had the suplexes. Guys there just not willing to go hand to hand, taking their firearms to the battle. Oh, suplex the big guy. Sword. Not gonna let that guy get me. As soon as he comes back on screen. Ah, it's the knife. Nice. Gotta try to not throw those guys. Used to be great to get these games for sure, Seacrest and Trevor, and like also having manuals. I'm a little disappointed the manuals are a QR code for sure. It would have been nice to have them included on the device. Actually, are they? If I pause this and press the reset button, save, load. No, okay, I was being strange. I was wondering if you might see the manuals. I pressed the special button there by accident. Love how fast it is. So you can see it very responsive. I'm used to, like I said, I'm used to playing the PAL versions of Streets of Rage 2, for example, where you know it runs slower because essentially it's just. Actually, I think Streets of Rage 2, if I'm not wrong, might be one of the few region-locked cartridges that when you boot it up on the on a different Mega Drive, it might say like you need to run this on Mega Drive. I have one or two cartridges. Like I have a cartridge for Double Dragon on the Mega Drive. And that only works on the Mega Drive Model 1 for some reason. It doesn't work on the Model 2. I have no idea why that is. Let's kick some ice. Double Dragon might be a nice inclusion on this. The Double Dragon on the Mega Drive, it might not have the best hit detection, but it does have two-player simultaneously, which is really good. So responsive. Now, as I said, guys, I was fearful I might play this all day. So what I will do is when we get to next area, I'll drop this and have that something else so that we can show a variety. But man, this is a lot of fun. Guy in the boat dropping off the bad guys. But yeah, this plays great, if anyone was wondering how it played. Plays very nicely. Another expensive game, I should say, as well. Okay. Indeed. We should move on Fantastic game though. Plays very well. So what was I going to do? I was going to... So we'll go ahead and we'll do a shooter. And then I'll try out one of these new games. So Star Mobile is a puzzle game. I might not know how to play that initially. I'll try playing Splatter after that. One of the newer games. Because games like Suka Locomotive and Star Mobile, they're some of the new ones, but I might not know how to control them initially without looking at the manual. So I think Splatter will probably be simpler, I'm guessing. We'll try one of those. We'll play some Thunder Force though. Some Force of Thunder. It's a shooter that I have on the Mega Drive cartridge, so I should know what I'm doing here. High speed mode? Oh wow, okay, it's got an original mode. Should I play high speed mode? Well, maybe we'll check out the difference. Play the original first. For like a very short amount and then play high speed. Maybe high speed removes slowdown? I mean, sometimes slowdown helps when you're fighting enemies in these games. Lots of features here, it's very cool. That music though. So what I won't do is I won't jump into games like Shining Force, although I definitely will play them. They are maybe too long for this particular unboxing video. Now I think I see what the audio issue I was perceiving was, is that most of these games the music is quite loud, and I have a limiter on the audio and it's sort of just hitting that, so it looks like the audio is not moving when it's continuous. Alright, let's just leave it as it is, so that the audio doesn't get too loud over my dialogue myself. Such a great looking game. Such a great sounding game as well. You know what? Shall I go into the options and change to, before I do high speed mode, even though the audio might be, I think it's just going to be the slowdown that they remove in high speed mode, but there's a chance the audio might be different. See, you're seeing a bit of slowdown here? I think that's what high speed mode is going to do. I think it's going to remove a little bit of slowdown. Yes, that's probably what it's going to be. It's going to make the game a lot harder, but... Interesting. Right, with that in mind, actually, let's just go check that out immediately. I'm also going to change the audio. I'm going to change the audio to Mega Drive 1 audio. See, I mean, I won't notice any difference with the way I've got it set up for the stream, but you guys might. Okay, let's go into the settings. Good thing to try out, to be fair. Sound settings. Go with that type. Alright, now let's try that in high speed mode. Alright, let's give it a go. High speed mode. I imagine this is going to be without slowdown, so using some of the enhancements that this system has available to it. Yeah, Thunder Force. Sounds like a heavy metal or death metal song. Right, so we should notice it, like, within those serpentine enemies, if that is the case. But it will make it a lot harder if there is no slowdown. Sometimes you can use that slowdown to your advantage. Hit the enemies as they're coming for you. That's not good. I think it was the second or third one of those when it came up. Slowed down the game quite a bit. I'm not seeing any yet. It could be that that is what we're seeing in this high-speed enhancement version. Yes, definitely this bit slowed down a lot. Yeah, I got destroyed because of it. Interesting. Okay, very cool, very cool. So you have the high-speed mode for that game, and it removes all slowdown, which is something the original hardware was not capable of. Very cool, actually. It's nice to see that type of feature. I like to see. It's an option there if you want it. It's interesting that it's as you launch the game and it's not in the game options, but then, you know, they're presenting the original file or game as it would have been a ROM file, and then a different one as well. So, okay, cool. Alright. What did I say I was going to go next? There's so much versatility here. Let's try this new game, Splatter, and see if I can figure it out. Never played it before. Let's give it a go, see if I can figure it out. Hop on your tricycle and pedal to pick up all the flowers. But don't get caught by the monsters. Jump at the fence to send your enemies flying. Helter Skelter. In all directions. In this Mega Drive port of the 1984 arcade classic. Don't think I've ever played this. We'll give it a go. What options do we have? There's a lot of options there. I think we're good, we can just leave them. Okay, alright, insert coin like an arcade game. What button is my credit button? Ah, the A button. Okay, we'll put 3 credits in. Super Nintendo Minis, Trevor? Yeah, they might be a bit more expensive on the second-hand market these days. Alright, I drive around, pick up the flowers, don't let the monsters hit me. Okay, I mean, it's fairly simple. Just don't let that thing get you. Oh no! Oh, that was pretty good. There's a cinder block there. Don't drive it. Don't pedal into that. Oh, I almost did the same thing again. Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy! Okay, I quite like this actually. Quite like this little puzzle game. All of these games are, you know, a lot of these newer games, you're not going to know how to play them until you play them. Pretty cool though. I don't mind it. Would have been an interesting game to have back in the day. No, I've made the mistake. Didn't want to move in that cinder block because I would get myself stuck. You got to kind of memorize where the enemies are spawning from, I think. I mean, not necessarily, but I think it would help. I'm in trouble now. I'm just going to move up to the cinder block. Can't get away from it. Oh boy. I mean, it's cool. I'm seeing the gimmick of that game, for sure. It's definitely an interesting game to have there. Quite like it. That was a new game on the Mega Drive. Specifically ported to the Mega Drive for this release. Very cool. Very cool. Let's play a bit of Splatterhouse 2, another one of my absolute favourites. See how that plays on this Mega Drive Mini. Very excited for that. Might open it up to some more requests as well if anyone wants to see anything else. Some awesome shooters on this as well. Right, let's give this a go. To answer a previous question, this does sound like new music to me. On the menu, that is. Dude, this introduction to this game was so good. It used to. This and number 3 as well. I think number 3 was only released in America, but I was able to grab a cartridge actually locally there was a small shop in my local town at the time, and it was like a DVD shop, but it also had a couple of games, and it just happened to have a a Genesis copy of Splatterhouse 3, and like the cartridge was like really messed up. I could be misremembering. One of these games, Splatterhouse 2 or 3, I have loose cartridge, but I was able to find a copy, that's the short of it. They just happened to have it there, even though it was a Genesis version. Whichever game it was, 2 or 3, but man, it was so cool to find that. That place didn't stick around for very long. As you guys often know, these days a lot of the second-hand game shops are struggling with, you know, consoles moving to digital media. But yeah, I used to love this opening. And I don't think I've seen this opening in 60 Hz. So this is cool as well, to see it played in this speed. So good. The music, I've used this music in videos before as well. Love this music. Very creepy. And the music in the third game as well. But yeah, everything looks pretty good to me. Like, I haven't noticed any perceivable, at least to me, lag from the controls of the games. I haven't noticed any stuttering from the screen scrolling. I haven't noticed any artifacting that shouldn't be there or anything like that. Everything I've seen thus far looks pretty accurate to how it should be. Alright. Play some, it's another beat 'em up game actually. Game Master or difficult. Alright, let's do it. First game, of course, on the TurboGrafx, or PC Engine I should say. This game was ludicrously gory for its time. I think you're worse off with the weapon. I could be wrong, but you do get to smash the enemies into the walls. With enough practice on this section, you can avoid getting hit at all. Especially from these enemies that come at your feet. And you can avoid ones behind you by keeping moving. Between a rock and a hard place. I gotta stand in the right place here. That's rust on my part. Damn it. Damn it. Oh boy. You just gotta remember the positioning where you have to stand, unfortunately. Oh my goodness. Memory is not my strong point. But we got him. With a strong fist. Oh, the elevator. Now this section, oh boy. Again, if you remember, you can remember where the enemies come in from. And then you can pretty much, like, just hit them as they jump in. Reminds me of Batman Forever, where there's a lift stage, or a bit where moving around. If you remember where the enemies come from, not Batman Forever, sorry, Batman Returns on the Mega Drive. You remember where they're coming in. Yeah, see, I'm getting hit a lot here, but it's just memorization is the main thing here. To the stage below. I remember things get pretty nasty here. Those guys, those purple ones can extend their hands at you. Oh, and also jump on you. Alright, though. Still an awesome game. Like, personally, one of my favorites. See, got hit that time. Got hit twice because I got complacent. Yeah, you just gotta stand in the right place. That's all there is to it. You just gotta stand and jump in the right place. Alright. Anyway, you do have level codes on this as well, which do help. Let's go ahead and try something else. Back to the game menu. Such a great amount of games on this as well. Such a variety. So many good titles, for sure. Should we give Truxton a go? I'm gonna give Truxton a go. Alright, let's give this one a go. Standard and arcade. Oh, that's cool. We might as well try the arcade music. Go easy. Go easy on me, please. Oh, I used a bomb straight away. Big fan of shmups. You get that option for the arcade music. Kind of interesting addition. Alright, let's go ahead and try the original. Would have been nice if they'd added it in the options menu, actually. So I was curious as to the music there. We'll have a go at this one. Yeah, the resellers definitely will be putting a premium on the minis for sure. Oh, I still pressed the B button and used the bomb immediately. So it's debatable. I mean, it's personal preference if you prefer the arcade music or the original music here. For sure. I'm just gonna use a bomb here. Should have done that. It's another. A lot of these games are going to be if you have the memory of where the enemies are and how to avoid them. That's a lot of it. A lot of times you're going to go down to enemies, but once you've figured out, you know, where they are, what they do, you're good. I like the ability to scroll here around the screen to an extent. powered up. Can't let too many enemies stay on screen, because then I'm gonna get flooded. Well, that power up was good while it lasted. Oh, I moved right into that. Cool game though, cool game. Enjoyed it. It looks like it drops you relatively close to where you were as well. Alright, let's turn to the game menu. So the main request I think was to do Streets of Rage 3. We've done that one. What should we try next? Let's see how we do. And we've got a little bit more time. I think we might try... I think this is Crusader of Centy, but this is the PAL name of it. I think we'll try that. Oh, Robo Aleste on here as well, and Ranger X. Hellfire's a great game as well. So, what we can do is, man, I want to play everything. I will quickly... Yes, so, there's too many games here to, you know, go into requests and whatnot. We'll drop into Midnight Resistance, so a little bit of Contra action. Then I'll try out really quickly Ranger X and Robo Aleste, Sega CD game, and then we'll finish up on another game that a lot of people will really want to play. There's another good run and gun here with Rolling Thunder 2, but I'll try out Midnight Resistance. So yeah, again, like, you know, I could play Hellfire here. I could play. Oh, dude, Grandia is really tempting as well. Yeah, okay. There's too many games. We'll do Midnight Resistance. A game where you fight as a human at one point in the level, Trevor. That doesn't ring a bell. I remember there is a game where you start off as a human, you turn into a robot as you move on. But I don't remember the name. It sounds familiar, Trevor. But if you forgot it, I've definitely forgot it. My memory is terrible. Altered Beast. That is one that does that. You turn into you turn into a beast. Right. No, that makes sense, Trevor. Now I understand. Thank you, Seacrest. I was thinking of a game where you turned into a robot. I completely blanked on Altered Beast. Yes, for sure. I don't think I need to change these controls. What was it on by default? That's weird. I don't know how to change the difficulty. Never mind. But see, I don't remember the buttons here. Oh, I'm facing the wrong way. There we go. So this is your Contra style game. We'll keep up with the car. Very cool. I think I'm going to go with these games really quickly. What's the game I'm thinking of where you're a robot? Is it E-SWAT? It might be E-SWAT. Oh, climbing up the ladder. All right. So this is your Contra style game. You know what? I'm going to move through these ones really quickly, just to show them a little bit. So I've got to get off that ladder, man. It's destroying me. I got destroyed by grenades after I destroyed it. If I hadn't gone on that ladder, though, I would have been fine. I want to show a lot of games, to be fair, so like real quick in these closing moments. Oh, for sure, Trevor. Speaking of memory, I don't remember the buttons on a lot of these games as well. So, man, I wanna play all of these, but I just want to quickly show Grandia. I just remember that game was on here, and I was like, man, I've gotta show a little bit of this. All right, let's go into that. See if I can manage to change the scene on OBS before the Sega logo comes up. Alright, configuration. That seems fine, we'll just go with that. Sometimes figuring out the options is a task in itself. So this is a little bit like the Chaos Engine. Or I should probably say, it's a little bit like Gauntlet. It's dark where you're at, Chris. Oop. Oh my goodness. And it's exactly like Gauntlet in the fact that you can get swarmed. Yeah, this game's a lot like Gauntlet, so this is one of those overhead action games. Very reminiscent of Gauntlet. Great music on this one. Another one I've always enjoyed. Wanted to show a little bit of it. Whoa, look at that slow down. Destroy exactly like Gauntlet in the sense that you destroy the spawning points. It's probably the kind of game that could do with being a twin stick, if you know what I mean. Like one joystick to move you and one joystick to fire. With very fast action. Yeah, for sure, Chris. Yeah, it's getting pretty dark out there. Anyway, I said I was going to move through these a bit quick because we are wanting to show as many games as we can in the time that we have available. So let's move on. Just a quick move through here on these last couple of games. So like I did with the beat 'em ups, I'll show one more shoot 'em up game, Ranger X. I wanted to give this one a go. This will be a cool one to try out as well. I'm going to skip the cinematic of this one as well, just so we can get straight into it. Let's go easy. Take it easy on me. Told me the button's there, but I wasn't paying attention. Ooh, look at that. 3D style perspective with those vector lines. Very impressive. Similar to the Star Fox graphics on the Super Nintendo. Alright. Well, this game is really fast. Ah, I see. There's a different button to turn around. Like the C button fires to the left and the A button fires to the right. Look at those scrolling backgrounds as well. Look at how the projectiles move. This is a very good looking game. I definitely can't do this one justice, but we'll see it for a little bit now. Oh my goodness. All of the explosions. Did you have the Mega Drive Mini one yourself? Yeah, that's another great one. I think the Japanese version of the Mega Drive 1 had Musha on it, which we didn't get on the overseas release, unfortunately. The international release, which would be very cool to get as well. There are a couple of games that were on the Japanese release for this one that weren't on this version. Luna, they had the Luna RPGs. Unfortunately, they didn't come, even though there were English versions of them. Same with Musha, to be fair. Oh, nice, they're getting repaired. Yeah, the Luna games would have been really awesome to have. Alright, well, anyway, guys. I said I was going to go through these ones pretty quickly. Let's go ahead and... what did I say I wanted to do? We'll show the Mega CD version of Robo Aleste. Some of that Sega CD power in action. Mecha power. Oh, there's the EU and the US version. Okay. We'll just go, for this time, we'll just do the US version. You never had the 32X, Chris? Or the Sega CD? I had the Mega CD, but certainly it was, you know, another peripheral on top of it, especially if you include the 32X. More peripherals on top of your system as it is. Okay, I'm going to skip the entrance because I want to do this in a timely fashion. Alright, very cool to have this game on here. Let's go easy. Hey, appreciate you guys checking us out as well. We're going to be wrapping this up shortly. I'm going to show as many games as I can in a reasonable amount of time for a unboxing video. So I don't want to spend too long on this because essentially, you know, the important part is the unboxing and then, you know, showing the game's list, then a couple of region differences. There'll be more region differences to figure out and interpret as well. This is my first time using this device, so there's going to be stuff that I'm not fully aware of, for sure. But definitely, a bunch of sought after games are on this, for sure. Bunch of sought after games. And I got blown up. Very cool. A lot of these games, just really awesome to have a fully licensed version of them. Oh, there's a lot of projectiles in this one. Okay, I wanted to show this one because it's just another one of those like really cool. Like their game selection on this is fantastic, and it's another game that admittedly you're going to need to spend some time on to practice, know where the enemies come from, know how much firepower it takes to take them out. For sure. All of the blasts. I think this is one of those games where, like, when you get the power-ups, you, Hey, no worries, Seacrest. Appreciate you dropping by, my friend. We'll be wrapping it up in a little bit, for sure. I think there was one more game I wanted to show, and that was Crusader of Centy, the RPG, because I know that one, for sure, was a very sought-after game. Oh, your power-ups are limited on this. These are going to get wrecked in a moment. All of the things. Yeah, see, things like that, enemies coming up behind you, that's just the sort of thing you need to be wary of and practice against. Anyway, that was Robo Aleste. Definitely very cool to see that. One last game we'll give a go. That was just some more Sega CD action to close us out. And we will check out... like, you know, the RPGs, I would love to show some of these, but for sure they're going to take too much time. Lots of great games I would have liked to have played, you know, Hellfire, Rolling Thunder 2, etc. But we'll move on to that. You don't know if you like vertical or horizontal shooters, Trevor? I don't mind either, to be fair. I think I prefer like vertical scrolling ones, I think. But you know, I like any kind of shooters. I like top-down shooters as well. You know, like your Chaos Engine style or Soldier of Fortune, if you know it elsewhere. So this is an RPG. Good to have a go at this as well. I wonder if there'll be options for, assuming I've got this correct. I was wondering if you'd have options for the US release for just for the different title. Got an intro going on here, which, to be fair, I will skip because we're pressed against it for as long as a unboxing video should be. Yeah, so if I'm not misremembering this game was known overseas as Crusader of Centy. Gradius is one of the games you're thinking of, Trevor. So many great shmups as well. So this is a Zelda-style game. It is extremely expensive. We'll enter the name MVL. To buy on the second-hand market. I've held this game in my hands before, but the price asked of it was a bit ridiculous. So, you know, you want to pay a reasonable price for games. This is a reasonable way to obtain it. A birthday party for MVLR. Wow, I got young. They have a present for me. A sword and shield, just what I always wanted. Here's your sword and shield. Father used to wield. He was very strong and kind, but he lost his life in a battle. I really don't want you to have this sword, but it is the law of this land. You forced their fathers into battle. Okay, unusual. I now have a sword. Just try and stop me now. Alright, I'm just gonna... Where are you going? Everyone has come see you. You just gave me a sword. Oh wow, I want a sword too. Can't wait. I've got a sword too, but I've got a rusty one, like... oh, his is brand new. I see what he's saying. Happy birthday. That's a beautiful sword. Ah, okay. Can I go now? Where are you going? Everyone come see. Okay. It wasn't a happy ending, but it should try and continue your father. It's work. Okay, now can I go? Okay. My first time playing this, if you haven't noticed. They want a sword too, okay. There you have a rusty sword, I understand. Fireworks, somebody going somewhere? Just remembered, I'm on leaves today, let's go see him before he goes. Okay, I had to speak to him a certain amount of times. When is it my turn to go? Hope you haven't forgot to give me a send-off too. Oh, bull. Becoming a hero is not an easy task. You will never become one if you don't train hard at the Rafflesia training ground. Come on, hurry, I want to see him on. I like him because he is brave and strong. Pretty good reasons to like somebody. Yes, this game, very expensive on the second-hand market. Held it in my hands before, but price was too high, but got it in the form of this, finally. And those prices of a lot of second-hand games is just going up. But yeah, as you can see, this is a Zelda-style top-down game. The Mega Drive did have its, you know, Zelda-style games. And this looks fantastic. Look at the visuals here. You know, Super Nintendo style visuals. Looks pretty awesome. To the castle. Well done, Aman. You have passed the trial. Here is your reward. Got a better sword than me. I got sword envy. Thank you, sir. Your Highness. This sword will be of great help to me. Your journey will be a long one, but I know you will succeed. Good luck. Yes, Your Highness. You love this age of gaming. Yeah, the graphics, you know, really good, you know, 16-bit or 32-bit 2D graphics, you know, in the case of the 32X, or, you know, the PlayStation actually had really good 2D graphics and its 32-bit capabilities. But really good 2D graphics stand the test of time. They definitely do. Like, they are much easier to look at than, you know, early 3D graphics. I'll say that for sure. That sword, you must be MVL. It's been a long time. Your father was an extremely brave man. He saved his town. With that sword many times. Even reminiscing, you have come to report your body. You have not. I will grant you entrance to Rafiza training ground. Train hard, young one. Okay, where is the training ground? Yo, Prodigy, welcome. Is the training ground below? This is why, you know, playing an RPG takes a while. I think I just dropped into the loo there. In that holding area. Hope you're doing well, Prodigy. I don't think the training ground is going to be up top of the castle. But as you can see, this game looks amazing. Like, you know, a lot of people, the Super Nintendo Zelda Link to the Past is one of the, you know, best games of all time. 2D graphics at the best. Not bad, Prodigy. I appreciate you dropping by, my friend, as well. Oh, everyone's moved. Where have they gone? I saw a man leave. He looked awesome, but after all, he is the hero. The hero? So they left. Maybe the training grounds is southward. But yeah, this is the Zelda-style game for the Mega... or a Zelda-style game, I should say. Oh, I should go up. So it's very cool to see it. You must be MVL. The king has instructed me to let you pass. Okay. I am an expert sword thrower. You are very lucky, my boy. For just 20 malins, I will teach you the art of sword throwing. But it looks like you don't have enough money. Come back when you have more. Okay. Don't have enough cash to throw my sword. Hey, big guy. Hey, the instructor. You do know the purpose of this training ground, don't you? Yes. Then I'll give it your best shot. Okay. I don't know the purpose of the training ground. Look, you can cut grass. It is Zelda. And I found cash in the grass, just like Zelda. I only need, you know, 18 more of those and I can learn how to throw a sword. Slash the red switch to light the fuse. Okay. There's 2 red switches. Ah! Why did it tell me to do that? That hurt. Okay. I can't... Oh, I can destroy these. Okay. I think that hurt me as well. Dude, the music of this game is really good. Oh boy. Have I got a run button or something? Hello there. You must be new here. Let me give you a few tips about this place. You must learn to do the running jump, but it's not possible to learn it here. It seems we can only do the beginning course here. Let's take it easy, friend. Okay, I must learn that bit as I go on. I see. That's weird that those trees are moving as I move. Maybe I'm supposed to get the coins, learn the sword throw, then come back. Maybe that's what I'm supposed to do. Oh, I see. There were spikes under one of those. Okay. So this is you learn the basics type deal of your RPG game. I essentially wanted to show this game because I know this is a very desirable game. It's very difficult to get your hands on at a reasonable price. You know, you don't want to pay an unreasonable price for games. You want to pay a reasonable price, and I think this is a pretty good price. And as I mentioned at the start of the stream, you can definitely, you know, emulate these games. Like, you know, people can play games however they want, for sure. But this is a fully licensed version of this game at a very reasonable price. So it's a good way to get it if you wanna pick up this game. Or a bunch of games that we showed on this stream on this Mega Drive Mini 2. There's a lot to like about it. Is this where the... Okay, gotta be wary of... Yeah, okay, I want to be wary of that flamethrower. But yeah, great selection of games on this. If I hit this switch, are more spikes going to appear? Oh, it actually do some good stuff. Not the bees! The bees are in my eyes! Oh, the bees don't actually hurt you, but they can move you onto the spikes. Well, we destroyed a bee. That'd be pretty good. Oh, look at that. That's pretty impressive. I like this. This is like an obstacle course for an RPG. Pretty cool. You're learning the basics to move on. Like what sort of things you can move against. So I don't think we were supposed to... Uh-oh. Oh, okay, I can move around it. I don't think we were supposed to have the running jump yet, and we were supposed to take the other way around. I think. Very cool though. This is certainly one that was worth checking out. It's a nice chill game to play as well. MVO collects the bronze medal. Not the shameful bronze. Alright, well there you go guys. We got a bronze. Alright. So there you have it, my friends. The Mega Drive Mini 2 for this live stream. Appreciate you guys checking it out. Appreciate you guys watching. Wanted to unbox this Mini for you guys for this presentation. Thanks for checking it out, guys. Really appreciate it. And yeah, definitely a bunch of fantastic games in this Mini. So very happy about that. Very happy to try these out for sure. It has been really awesome to give these games a go on this. Bunch of great games on this system for sure, and definitely awesome to check that out. So you got such a great selection on the Mega Drive Mini 2, and we had a look at it here. We had a look at the console itself. We saw that the old controllers worked. We saw the size comparison with the original system and all of that stuff. And also, we had a look at the games. And I'll show the games now, because now they'll be in alphabetical order. Some of them were new games as well. We had Afterburner 2, we had Alien Soldier, we had Atomic Runner, we had Bonanza Bros, we had Clay Fighter, we also had Desert Strike Turn to the Golf. Deviant P, that's one of the new games. We've got Earthworm Jim 2, we've got Echo the Dolphin, and Echo Tides of Time. We've got Elemental Master, Fantasy Zone, Fatal Fury 2, Final Fight CD, Game Ground. We have Golden Axe 2, Grandia, Hellfire, Hero's Way, Midnight Resistance, we have Night Striker, we have Night Trap, Outrun, Outrunners, Fantasy Star 2, we've got Populous, we've got Rainbow Islands Extra, we've got Ranger X, we've got Rise Star, we've got Robo Aleste, we've got Rolling Thunder 2, we've got Sewer Shark, we've got Shadow Dancer, The Secret of Shinobi, we've got Shining Force CD, we've got Shining Force 2, we have Shining in the Darkness, we have Slipheed, we have Soleil, Crusader of Centy, we have Sonic 3D, we have Sonic the Hedgehog CD, we have Space Harrier 2, we have Splatter, we have Splatterhouse 2, we've got Star Mobile, another new game, we have Streets of Rage 3, we've got Super Hang-On, we've got Super Locomotive, we've got Super Street Fighter 2, we've got the Ninja Warriors, we've got the Ooze, we've got the Revenge of Shinobi, we've got Thunder Force 4, we've got Toe Jam and Earl, we've got Truckstone, we've got Vector Man 2, we also have Viewpoint, Virtual Racing, versus Puyo Puyo Sun, War Song, and You're My Mystery Mansion. Loads of great games. Yeah, Jealous Prodigy? Yeah, it's such a great collection. Great value for money. I got this from Amazon UK, arrived today, just had to open it up, unbox it immediately. Really fun, really happy with it. So I'm going to leave it, guys. That's all the time we've got for this unboxing live stream. And even for a live stream, to be fair, it went on a little longer than it should have done because, you know, we're live and I really couldn't contain my excitement to try out these games. So I really want to try out some of these. There's definitely more of these I want to try out, which I will try out off screen. And such a great collection of games in this Mega Drive Mini 2. I'm glad that systems like this come out. Some people may feel, you know, one or two ways about the mini systems. I think they're really good. They're really good value to money to get official versions of these games fully licensed in a nice little convenient package like this that plays all of the games. And I didn't see any issue with any of the games playing. There might be some issue with how I played them, but I didn't see any issue with the games at all. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting the stream. You guys have been awesome. You guys are great. I love you guys. And what is going on here? If you go onto the splash screen for too long, it plays an image of Afterburner. Okay. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for being a part of this. I hope you guys do enjoy yours if you do pick them up for sure. I have been MVL. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. And you can also support me on Patreon or YouTube channel membership if you want. But either way, guys, thank you for watching. I have been MVL, and I will catch you next time.